the big sporting reboot.
England are through to the quarterfinals of the UEFA Euro 2020, where they're going to be playing Ukraine in Rome. 2 second-half goals from Raheem Sterling and Harry Kane were enough as the Three Lions ended their 55-year wait for a knockout victory against Germany. Here's how Gareth Southgate's men defeated the Germans at Wembley. Take a look.
And here is Harry Kane for England, and there's Jack Grealish, and here's Luke Shaw, and there for England is number 10 again, Raheem Sterling!
75 minutes. 75 minutes that felt like an eternity before England's Raheem Sterling finally broke the deadlock to send Wembley into raptures.
Doesn't have to take a touch, think too much about it, just use the pace that's on the ball.
Generations across England had waited for this moment. After all, England hadn't beaten Germany in a tournament knockout game since 1966. That is 55 years of wait right there.
And His Royal Highness Raheem Sterling. And Shaw's on the march. And here's Grealish. And there's Kane!
But England weren't done just yet.
Reach out!
Harry Kane, who has had an indifferent campaign up until this point, who looked tired and leggy throughout the game, finally rose to the occasion and scored his first goal of the Euros.
It's there to be finished for a striker, be it Sterling or Kane. It's a brilliant cross, a considered cross.
Substitute Jack Grealish sent a perfect cross for the England captain to head it past Manuel Neuer. England knew then that they had won. 41,000 English fans at the stadium, and not one of them who wasn't shouting and celebrating at the top of their voice.
So much spoken of history. It is being written before our eyes.
England legend David Beckham, singer Ed Sheeran, and even the Royals were all there witnessing England's domination.
Down to make it 1-1. With that Kane goal, it looks as if Germany's tournament is over.
They had finally broken the German jinx at Wembley. In the past 7 meetings between the two countries at Wembley, Germany had won 5 and drawn 2, but not this time.
Just in this moment.
The 2014 World Cup champions were sent packing home.
In tears, wonderful career, a great servant of his country.
However, between the two England goals, there was a moment that could have changed the face of the game.
It's Thomas Muller for Germany, and he's dragged it wide.
But veteran Thomas Muller flubbed a golden chance when he was through on goal and had only England's goalkeeper Jordan Pickford to beat.
Taken their opportunity and have Germany miss theirs.
A goal then could have brought the Germans level.
And still, Thomas Muller.
But that was that, and England romped home at the end.
England, modern England, writes their own new history.
Now that they have seen of the German challenge, England find themselves on a favourable route to reach the final.
First by Raheem.
Only time will tell if this English side has it in them to win the trophy. But first, they need to win their last-hit encounter that awaits them in Rome. Sports Bureau, India Today.
The past is ripped up. First by Raheem, and then by the England captain, Harry Kane. A day for which a nation has thirsted. A redemptive day for which the nation's football leader has longed. That England beat Germany is in itself for now sufficient. A Wembley crowd that drinks it in and cherishes the knowledge that they were there to witness something beyond.
After years of despair, decades of distress and eons of agony, it was euphoria for the England fans as the Three Lions ended their 55-year-old course. Beating Germany 2-0 in the round of 16 match of Euro 2020, 40,000 fans inside the Wembley went wild after the final whistle. Screams and cheers of joy filled the stadium. Thousands of elated fans hurled half-drunk beers into the air and danced in celebration. Chants of "football is coming home" erupted outside the stadium. Celebrities and avid football fans like Prince William, his wife Kate, David Beckham and pop star Ed Sheeran, along with Prime Minister Boris Johnson, cheered for the Three Lions.
Honestly, we were amazing. Southgate got it right, good subs. And actually, for once, I back Gareth Southgate. We got a chance here. What we got next? Sweden or Ukraine? Easy. Then what? Czech Republic or Denmark? Easy. Italy? Easy.
Oh, what a result. Best result we could have wished for. I actually thought Germany were going to score, but we just turned them over 2-0. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home.
Ukraine beat Sweden 2-1 after extra time to reach Euro 2020 quarterfinals. Artem Dovbyk scored in the 121st minute as Ukraine edged past 10-man Sweden. They will now face Gareth Southgate's England. Here's a report.
Alexander Zinchenko now. Oh, to fire in! To Artem Dovbyk!
120 minutes and 37 seconds. In European Championship history, nobody has scored a match-winning goal later than that. Artem Dovbyk's goal this late in the game broke Swedish hearts, while Ukraine erupted in joy as they reached the quarter-finals of Euro 2020.
Surely sends Ukraine into the quarter-finals! A goal to send shockwaves and to send them wild!
This after Sweden had managed to keep Ukraine at bay, playing with 10 men for most of the extra time. It was Alexander Zinchenko who smashed Ukraine in front of the thunderous left-footed strike in the 27th minute.
Ukraine in front! Alexander Zinchenko! The outsiders have the lead!
But right before halftime, a deflected shot from Emil Forsberg put Sweden on level terms with Andriy Shevchenko's men.
It's that man again!
Here's a heartbreaking deflection which does take it past Buschamp into that really slim pocket just to his right-hand side.
The second half wasn't short of entertainment, with both teams coming very close to taking the lead. Emil Forsberg could have had a hat-trick. He hit the goal frame twice in that second 45.
Little skipping run from Forsberg! Woodwork again for Emil Forsberg! His cool assist.
But at the end of regulation time, it was still 1-1. However, Sweden's Marcus Danielsson's dismissal in extra time for an ugly lunge put the Ukrainians on the front foot.
Danielsson under pressure. There have been 4 red cards at this tournament so far. Make that 5.
But just when everyone thought the game was heading to a penalty shootout, Dovbyk's goal dashed all hopes for the Swedes.
To Artem Dovbyk, who surely sends Ukraine into the quarterfinals.
Only for the second time in their history, Ukraine have reached the quarterfinals of a major tournament. They'll now face England in Rome.
They'll be dancing in the streets of Kiev.
Sports Bureau, India Today.
And my colleague Akshita Nandagopal explains the Euro Cup quarter-final lineup. Take a look.
Stunning goals, last gap winners and some howlers. The round of 16 at the Euro 2020 had everything. England, of course, rewriting history. Switzerland knocking out world champions France. To Denmark riding on an emotional wave after their star player Christian Eriksen suffered a cardiac arrest. And now we've reached the quarter-final stage, which promises to be even more thrilling. Let's break down the schedule for the quarter-final stage. The action begins on Friday at 9:30 p.m. with Switzerland taking on Spain in St. Petersburg. The next match is on Saturday at 12:30 midnight. Remember, this is Indian Standard Time. Red Devils Belgium will square off with Italy, who are in sublime form currently. Next, Czech Republic, who eliminated Netherlands, will face the beloved Denmark on Saturday at 9:30 p.m. The next match on Sunday at 12:30 midnight, the final one, England, who rewrote history by defeating Germany after 55 years, will face Ukraine in Rome.
Seven-time champion Serena Williams' hopes of claiming a record equaling 24th Grand Slam title, singles title at Wimbledon ended in tears. The 39-year-old American quit with an injury early in her first round match. She needed treatment of the quad, needing 3-2 in the first set, and was clearly in distress on her return before being forced to retire at 3-3. Her misfortune added to an already dramatic second day in which 8-time winner Roger Federer looked set for his first opening round exit at the Grand Slam since 2003, when he found himself outplayed by Frenchman Adrien Manarino. But the Swiss superstar fought back before the Frenchman retired at the start of the fifth set. With the Tokyo Olympics less than a month away, India's Deepika Kumari has won a historic triple gold at the Archery World Cup in Paris. Deepika, who is currently in the form of her life, has also regained the #1 ranking in the world after her victory. Rahi Sarnobat, who is in Croatia for the ISSF Shooting World Cup 2, backed the top spot in the women's 25-meter pistol event. Here is how these superwomen brought glory to the nation. Take a look.
Not one, not two, but 3 gold medals.
Yes, all right. Attention.
Ahead of the Tokyo Olympics, star Indian archer Deepika Kumari bagged a hat-trick of gold medals at the World Cup Stage 3 tournament.
6-0 for Deepika Kumari of India.
With a victory at the Paris event, Deepika also regained the #1 ranking in the world.
In Guatemala.
Deepika's first gold came in the women's recurve team event, where she combined with Ankita Bhakat and Komalika Bari to defeat their Mexican counterparts.
Oh, what a lovely shot there from Deepika Kumari.
Her second gold came in the mixed event, where she paired up with her husband Atanu Das. The couple made a roaring comeback from being 0-2 down against the Netherlands to finally win it 5-3.
To the gold medal, India.
The Ranchi-born archer then won her third gold after blanking Russia's Elena Osipova 6-0,
it's a 6-0.
capping a perfect 3 out of 3 goals in the recurve women's section.
It's her second stage win of the season, having taken gold in Guatemala. She's taken gold here in Paris.
This isn't the first time Deepika has tasted success at the premier archery event. She has now won 9 golds, 12 silver and 7 bronze medals in total at the Archery World Cups. However, her victory came with the mighty Koreans missing from the lineup at the World Cup. India have never won an archery medal at the Olympics, a fact that Deepika will look to change next month after her performances in Paris. And it's not just archery. India's women are hitting the bullseye in other sports as well. At the Shooting World Cup, India's Rahi Sarnobat too bagged the gold medal in the women's 25-meter pistol event. Sarnobat, who will be representing India at the upcoming Tokyo Games, fired a score of 39 in the final. This included perfect scores in the 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th series. This is India's first gold at the Shooting World Cup this year, having secured 1 silver and 2 bronze medals earlier in the tournament. Sports Bureau, India Today.
And you standing on the podium and the tricolor at the back of you. Oh, wow, wonderful.
Tokyo is all set to host Olympics amidst a global pandemic. Few Tokyo residents feel that the Olympics could trigger a global super spreader event, while some say games should be held keeping the security of players in mind. My colleague Paulami Barman brings us this ground report from Tokyo.
The Olympic Games are all set to begin in Tokyo amid the COVID pandemic. Scheduled earlier in 2020, the COVID outbreak forced officials to postpone the Games. But now it's back on track and contingents have started to arrive. The National Stadium in Tokyo, renovated just last year, is gearing up to host the Games in weeks from now. The government is expected to lift its state of emergency that was imposed in April. But residents of Tokyo are worried that the Games could turn into a super spreader event.
Yes, I will exciting the Olympics because I am now sports now. A little 不安、ちょっと不安だけど、I want to continue to open the Olympics?
Olympics should happen because it's gonna give people lots of hope, and I personally want to watch Olympics on TV. Also, if I can get a ticket, I also want to watch in the stadium as well.
Japan struggled earlier this year as COVID cases surged. Hospitals ran out of beds, the death toll climbed up, and infection rates spiraled out of control. Cases may have come down now, but the slow pace of vaccination has been a concern for many citizens. Only 10.4% of the country's population has been inoculated so far. Experts are divided. Some believe that the Olympics must be called off, while others say that with proper precautions, the government can ensure there is no COVID outbreak in Japan post the Games.
They are quite open to people to come in and go out because it's a kind of, there's a democracy. People have freedom to do whatever they want. And that's the reason Japan actually have never had a lockdown. It's only emergency situation where you can restrict some activities. And I think generally Japan has done very well in terms of restricting the COVID spread because we don't have vaccine here yet. Mass is not vaccinated, but still the restrictions and people's obedient manners, I think we have done very well, and we are living quite nicely compared to any other country in the world.
Many locals in Tokyo are scared of a COVID nightmare rerun, but there is also an air of excitement in the city.
I think for the most part, the world is open back up with the vaccinations.
ぜひ開催して盛り上げてコロナ対策をしながら盛り上げていきたいと思ってます。でいいですか?
With just a few more days left for the Olympics to begin, people believe that government has handled the situation quite well in the past few months. And if proper precautions are taken, they will be able to pull off the Olympics well. However, we cannot leave out the section that believe that the Olympics should have been cancelled or at least postponed, keeping public health in mind. This is Paulami Burman from Tokyo for India Today.
Well, it's a wrap from me, Chaiti Narula, on the special show. For further news and updates, don't forget to log on to indiatoday.in or go ahead and download the app.